Okay, welcome to the May 21st regular meeting of the town of Neepawa. First order of business is approval of the agenda. Have we got any additions or changes? Seeing none, be it resolved that we hereby approve the regular meeting agenda for May 21st, moved by Deputy Mayor Parrott, seconded by Councillor Pottinger. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, and you were all sent out the minutes of the last meetings. So be it resolved that we hereby approve the minutes of the regular meeting and public meeting being held May 7th as circulated. Moved by Councillor Nadeau, seconded by Councillor Gerard. Any questions? Not, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Council reports. Who's got council reports? Councillor Nadeau.
You know, just a couple, so I had a regular Westlake Employment Skills and Services meeting, and just the typical business going on there. And on May 15th though, Western Manitoba Regional Library Board meeting, a couple things to note. We only got half the summer students that we asked for, so that's one thing that we're seeing, less summer students available to use in our Neepawa library. So as such, our local library board and the regional library is looking at extending some hours on our programming assistant, which will continue to give everyone services. So that's really a good thing. But we're seeing that across other areas, especially in Neepawa. I think we're seeing that on multiple areas, multiple boards. We're very fortunate on the students we get, but some of that funding I think is starting to change, so something we should all watch for. Carberry was successful. They applied for a grant for their oral history project that they're doing. The last meeting I told you about Brandon's oral history project. Well, Carberry's doing one now too, and the local foundation supported them. So that might be a revenue source for our library if we choose to do something like that. Some really exciting news at the Neepawa Library we're finding out is our librarian, Debbie Unger, is retiring. So her last day officially is gonna be this Friday. Wow. And she's been there for 9 years. So she's been, it's gonna be sad to see her leave, but exciting in the same sense for her to move on to, life after work, which is really good. So this week we're doing interviews to hire a new librarian. So that's something that the region is working on, and myself and our citizen rep, along with me, the council rep, we've been included on the interviews, and there's some really good candidates, so we're very fortunate to have a number of candidates where we get some really good people that could be our next librarian. So that's everything from the regional library, and then as I already mentioned with the local library, we're excited to help Debbie celebrate her upcoming retirement. That's the main thing. That's everything.
Great, thanks Jason. Deputy Mayor Parrott.
Well, we, due to our road conditions or street conditions in town, we held a meeting, or public works meeting, to discuss alternative plans that are still within our budget. So I'm going to wait for Denis to report on the changes when he gets back.
Because it's rainy, he had to pick up a kid that got something canceled, but yes, he's coming back.
Okay, so we'll leave that for Denis to update on it, but the fact of the matter is the weather situation that we've had this winter, the rainfalls and the timing of them, and the fact that Neepawa has more than triple the traffic that it used to have, we are doing what we can for the street conditions, and we were adjusting our projects accordingly for this summer, and Denis will report on it.
Okay. That's everything?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else? Councillor Sicily.
So June, for participation, we received a grant. Nicole Cooper's worked out a whole month of activities for the month of June. She's gonna start updating it on the Neepawa Rec website. There'll be free activities for everybody to participate in, and when you're participating in the activities, there'll be chances to enter your name to win an Apple Watch. She's also got some mugs and some different stuff for people for participating. The pool is set to open June 3rd. Day camp registration is open this week for children aged 5 to 12. You can book for 1 day or for a full week for children. We applied for and received the Trans-Canada Trail Grant to hire 2 staff to help maintain trails in Neepawa throughout the summer. Townwide yard sales are this weekend on Saturday, May 25th. You can get your yard sale map at the town office. The Chamber Fair is this weekend. Come out and enjoy. There's going to be a ton of great rides, petting, farm, reptiles. There's a full schedule for the Chamber Fair on the Facebook page, on the Chamber of Commerce Facebook page. The Midway and food trucks are set to begin at 4 p.m. on Friday. And the last thing, I just wanted to put a shout out, and I'll probably do this every council meeting now till July 1st. Canada Day is coming. We need volunteers to make this day a success. Everybody loves these events when they're put on, but it takes people to make them work, and it takes volunteers. So if you would like to volunteer for Canada Day, we would love to have your help. If you can contact the town office and find out how you can get your name on the list.
There's 70 homes in the yard sale.
In the townwide yard sale. Wowzers. So it's like a full day of yard sale.
I got a van.
Oh, yes. I call shotgun.
Okay, did you?
Yeah, I have just a quick report. The Beautiful Plains Community Clinic Committee met, and the preliminary numbers for the raffle sound positive. And there was discussion as well. The raffle has been for the medical needs of the community. So there was some discussion about changing the focus from the building to perhaps some equipment within the hospital. And so there's, that's just very preliminary talk at this point, but there's people looking to support some purchases that aren't going to be included. And so the clinic committee is considering how we can support that as well, so.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excellent. Yes, Councillor Costa.
I just have a bit of a report from the HAND organization. The free income tax program was very well utilized. 2 longtime volunteers, Jane B. and Gary Black, had an addition of John Beveridge. He's a retired accountant and employee at the CRA, and they did a really good job. Their services were very much appreciated, and they completed over 100 packages for the seniors through the HAND office. Community meal program is maintaining good numbers. And Michelle tried something a little bit new at HAND recently, and it's called Seniors Movie Friday at the Roxy. So it was $100 to participate in this event, and they said they did 10 people at $10 per person to make it feasible. They ended up having 52 attendees. So that was really well done. Great for the Roxy and great for HAND and the seniors to have something to look forward to. We actually the board approved a renovation that Michelle had asked, and it has been completed, and her office looks amazing. It's very well done. So I do have an upcoming meeting June 7th with them, but it's just a little bit of the coordinator's report that just came out. So.
Very good. Okay, was that everybody for councillors? And if so, now, if we can have you, Manager of Operations.
Sure, thank you, Heather. So we'll talk about the hot topic first, and that'd be roads. So as mentioned, we've booked a unit to assist with road patching. So we booked for the month of June itself, and material will be delivered shortly. Now that we had our garbage audit completed and our sand shed is back up for grabs to store that material, I'll get that stuff delivered shortly. So the unit itself will spray emulsified asphalt mixture along with a washed pea gravel. so smaller aggregate. So the two compounds mixed together, then they should solidify into those potholes. This week we'll also do complimentary work. I've asked the staff to go and get some hot mix so we can start some of those bigger craters that we've got. They're getting just outrageous, so if the weather can let up with this rain and we have managed to get back out there, clean the zones that need to be cleaned, and then start patching, we'll focus in on some of the biggest ones and then work around after that. Like I said, seasonal staff, they're still kind of slowly trickling in as well. But each department's kind of getting their complement of employees to help them out with. Projects, so the lagoon project itself still ongoing. Deliveries are ongoing. Our latest contractor from out east will be flying in to come help with some of the commissioning and some of the setup of the material. That'll be happening this coming week. And following, I think we're here for a little bit. So that'll be probably supervision of the media itself to go into the MBBR tank to ensure that that's done to their satisfaction. Prior to that, we have to get all the stainless steel works installed. There was some weld failures that needed to be corrected, so that's ongoing. Leaving the lagoon building, we have our phase 1 project, which was the new water line going to the hospital, which ended right at the High Life meter chamber. So that project itself is complete. They're finishing on the last of the landscaping up. So substantial on that one. Has technically been awarded because the project is up and running. All tests have passed. We're just on a little bit of a holdback now for those guys. So that one's nearing its end. The second phase of that project would be the ones that were awarded to Rob Smith and Son for the force main, the lift station, the water and sewer kind of going on the west side of the hospital, in addition of some new fire hydrants on the south side. So that was an ongoing project. It's got a later completion date into, I think, early October, November-ish. That one's just got a longer date, working days, just because of the lift station itself. The procurement of some of the parts are a little slower. But that work, I believe they're starting excavation for the foundation of the lift station first week of June. And they'll move on from there to doing gravity sewer out of that zone. So it's actually, I believe, slightly ahead of schedule if the deliveries come true to when they're supposed to arrive. So we might see a little earlier completion, but that one will still be limited based on the delivery of the lift station unit itself, which is a slower order, and also the access of hydro. So hydro was here last week. We went over the project, so they're fine-tuning their design work on that one to ensure it complements with our easements and doesn't interfere with the landowners around it. Upcoming tenders is we still have some equipment tenders to do and additional road patching, firewall patching, stuff like that. A lot of those projects though are still kind of up in the air because we looked at reconfiguring some of the allocated budget we had set aside for some of our planned project for 24 and redirecting those funds into some of the streets that needed additional love and care. We've seen Mill Street and Hamilton Street, so the blocks, both of those streets from the blocks of Mountain to First Avenue, I've requested quotes and did a quite sizable replacement program for them. So I've requested quotes, but also locates to be ordered immediately. So once we have those quotes come in, we can review and approve immediately and pull the trigger on those. Surveyors are out, they checked them out, so hopefully we can get going on that project and have some numbers for you guys as early as next week, if they can have them together pretty quick. As the contractor still has their equipment mobilized here, we're hoping it can still proceed pretty quick. Any questions about the patching stuff?
No, I think you're gonna have a lot of happy residents knowing that there's gonna be some pothole work around town.
Yeah, we made a discussion with the infrastructure committee about, like I said, redirecting the funds that we budgeted. Just because we had these planned projects, but then some of these streets just deteriorated far quicker and further beyond whatever we imagined to go to.
Same with our Microsville money, we'll probably toss that into patch.
Yeah, so that tender hasn't not even been issued out. I'll probably do small works tenders, like we still had sidewalk renewal, new sidewalk stuff, so concrete itself will go out as a tender. But the asphalt one, even the fire hall one, I'm a little hesitant to put out there, because if we need to steal that money for streets, it's up as an option in my mind. So like I said, I'll see what the numbers come back, I'll present them to you guys, and then we'll make a decision from there.
Okay, any other questions? All right, thanks, Denise. Correspondence, Colby.
Rossford Subdivision Trail Association. This is an official invitation to participate at the Manitoba Trails Day event in Erickson on June 1st. So it's a 4.5 kilometer walk from Erickson to the new water tower rest stop. And you'll learn about the new Storybook Trail starting at 11 o'clock. Then they're having a barbecue closer actually to the water tower restaurant at the junction of Highway 10 and Road 107.5 West, or the old Highway 10 at 1 p.m. And there will be a shuttle offered as well for those that might want to get a ride back to where their car is parked, if you only want to walk the one way. So anybody that's interested, June 1st, starting at 11 o'clock in Erickson, and you can join in that particular day unless there's something more you wanted to add.
No, I heard Lisa might bring her van. No, it sounds like a nice day, and you're gonna get a nice little meal there, and there's supposed to be some ministers there speaking, so if you wanna come out and meet some of the ministers, check out the new water tower project, and it might be,
Everybody's welcome,
everyone's welcome.
not just council.
Perfect. Okay, I see we don't have finance, so I guess new business, Colby.
The first one is about a multi-use facility. The community's probably been hearing rumors about Yellowhead and the golf course and the curling rink, having some discussions about establishing a committee just to flesh out what are the options for the future, whether it's 5, 10, or 20 years out. And they're looking for a commitment from the town insofar as putting a member on the committee. So the next resolution is to recommend that our mayor, Brian Headley, be appointed to sit on that committee as they have their discussions. So just so the community knows, this is not an all-out, we're having one. It's about doing the research and understanding what could happen 5, 10, 20 years out.
Okay, any questions? Okay, whereas the boards of the Yellowhead Center, Neepawa Golf and Country Club and the Neepawa Curling Club are currently examining the possibilities for establishing a combined multi-use facility in which to create a steering committee. Therefore, be it resolved that Mayor Brian Headley be appointed to sit on the steering committee as the town of Neepawa representative. Moved by Councillor Pottinger, seconded by Councillor Kostenchuk. All in favor? Opposed?
Okay.
Part of it.
Colleen, offer the purchase.
This next one is following up on something new to the community, Habitat for Humanity, the Neepawa chapter. They're actually approached council. They're looking at starting a residential house in Neepawa for somebody in need of affordable housing. And so what they were looking at is that hopefully getting a lot somewhere over near Ellen Street or Isabel Street as it gets extended into the new subdivision there. So this resolution, after a little bit of discussion with council, it was treated as very similar with the recommendation that we do the same as we did for the Kinsmen over here when they purchased the old resource center lot to create their parking. And what we said at the time, because they're a nonprofit organization, is they can use some of in-kind value towards their project when they set up their expenses and revenues, and it's very valuable. So what we said was we were valuing the lots on going to be the new Isabel Street over there by Eastview Lodge site. And if the lots are valued at $60,000, we'll do the same as we did with the Kinsmen and give it recognition of a gross value of $60,000, an in-kind value of $30,000, and then a cash value in the end of a net value of $30,000. So the resolution basically says recognition of the gross value of 60, the in-kind of 30, and the cash price of 30 to sell to Habitat Humanity a lot so they can get started with the project.
Okay, any questions on that?
I should maybe say it's the one at the bottom. It would be on The north side of once Isabel goes down, the lot right at the bottom.
All right, motion reads, whereas Habitat for Humanity Manitoba has recently established a nonprofit chapter in Neepawa and have been actively pursuing their housing project. And whereas to initiate a project, the board has requested that the town consider partnering on the sale of a town-owned lot. Therefore, be it resolved that in recognition of the core values of the Habitat for Humanity program, in the interest Neepawa volunteers to facilitate a project, the council for the town of Neepawa approved the sale of Lot 1, Plan 72287 at 407 Isabel Street to the Neepawa chapter of Habitat for Humanity. The sale shall reflect a gross value of $60,000, subject to a contribution towards a project by the town in the amount of $30,000 and resulting in a net purchase price of $30,000. Moved by Councillor Sisley, seconded by Deputy Mayor Parrott. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, that is the majority of our agenda for tonight. So I guess as we move into in camera with confidential information, we will say goodnight to our viewing audience.